I'm Isaac, the host that will lose their train of thought about every 5 seconds.
If you also want to start a podcast like Milk and Lettuce, maybe make one even more refined than I do, I highly recommend going to anchor.fm. It's free. You do not need to pay them anything. You can have them publish it. They do have it on Apple, Google, Spotify, and others. You can just hit auto distribute and let them take care of the rest. That's what I did. That way I don't have to worry about any of all that. Yeah, words can be hard. But yeah, it's totally free. You can make money. There's no minimum listenership required. There's many different tools all right there. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And please send me your podcasts. I would love to listen to them. Thank you so much. Thank you to you, the listener, and to Anchor FM for being the new home to Milk and Lettuce. Okay, so I'm gonna do something while recording this and tell you guys a story while I take my meds. So, I, as I've said before, have anxiety. I have depression, and for the most part, I think I've got it pretty good under control. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna have my days. That's whatever. But I still have sleep issues. A lot of it linked to my anxiety, which usually kind of presents itself as straight up excessive worry. Worrying about things that have happened, things that have not yet happened, etc. But here's the but. This medication I was given. So, quick refresher, if you haven't heard my earlier episodes, I'm on gabapentin, currently 300 milligrams once a day. I'm also on, not that, singular something else, Visceral. Visceral, I'm on that 50 milligrams once a day. Both of these I take at night. Both of them lead to tiredness, sleepiness. However, sometimes it just does not do anything. It's again not doing anything. I have this weird thing where meds that work at some point eventually stop working. So here we are. That said, sorry. Shutting things down. It's 4:36 in the morning. I'm trying to go to bed. It's not working though. So what I'm also doing is drawing. And unfortunately, I think drawing leads to my meds not working, and I don't know why, and I hate that. Because I want to just draw until I'm too tired to continue and put my tablet away. But no, it just doesn't do it. But what I decided earlier today, I don't know when this is gonna come out. But basically, I'm writing up a picture book. And yes, I will cite all of my sources, as I am not a medical professional. I've said this many times. Anyway, yeah, that said, I will be releasing a picture book about ADHD. and all of the issues that often come with it. Some of which I've never personally dealt with, but a lot of it I have. I have ADHD. My 8-year-old son also has ADHD. He is not medicated, however, I am. Technically. And I say technically because one of the medications that I was given is clonidine. Clonidine is an ADHD medication, primarily, from my understanding. But, at the same time, I take it because it was given to me to prevent panic attacks. So, yeah. I have an ADHD medication, technically, and of course it helps with my ADHD. Oh, sorry, it's a blood pressure. Blood pressure, attention deficit, drug withdrawal, menopause flushing, diarrhea, spasticity. I think? I don't know. And certain pain conditions, apparently. Anyway, so onset of action is typically within an hour of the, okay. Blood pressure, whatever. We'll take it for blood pressure. Apparently it's used to treat high blood pressure, and that's okay. Because I don't have great blood pressure. My blood pressure is normally 120 to 130, over around 80. Well, 74 to 80. I think 74 is like the lowest I've seen in many, many, many years. I was a smoker for, oh boy, over 10 years. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I do vape. Not the greatest alternative, but my night coughs are gone. I do not cough at night anymore, and I love it. Anyway. So a lot of my breathing issues have improved drastically. Still can't run without losing my breath entirely. That will probably never go away. I am treated for asthma as well, hence the singular I mentioned earlier. But anyway, so this is kind of a clonidine part 2, sort of. But yeah, we're gonna play a game because my prior 2 medications that I mentioned, the gabapentin and the Vistral, are still in my system. I took my meds about 4 hours ago, and I'm still here, so that's unfortunate. So we're gonna play a little game. I'll have to update you guys later. I'm going to take my clonidine and get back to my drawings. I've made a cute little character. His name is Q. He doesn't have arms. He's just a head, a body, and floating hands. And I love him. He's adorable. Anyway, Q is going to be the main character of my book. And I'm not going to say it's like aimed at children or aimed at adults. It's got pictures that are going to be bright to kind of hopefully help with the attention issue. I am making this book with my son in mind, but also myself. And because my son is 8 years old, he can understand a lot of the terms I'm going to be using. He may not fully understand them, but he'll be at least able to read it. And he can ask questions if he doesn't fully understand. He's 8 years old, he knows this. He's also way too damn smart for his own good. So, oh boy, I think he was 4 or 5. No, he was still 4 at the time. Because my second child, my first daughter, was still an infant. And my son was pumping his arms, saying, pistons and What was it again? Specifically. Now I'm spacing, probably because those meds aren't kicked in. But not working. Oh, God. Something about how pistons moved engines or something. Or this is how engines work. With pistons, and then he'd fist pump the air, like alternative fist pumping. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. But where the hell did you hear this? And it was from this, I don't remember the name of the show, and I don't think it's on anymore. It was a Nick Jr. show. Something, I need to look it up. I'm going to look it up while I'm on you. Or on you. I'm not on you. I hope I'm not on you. That'd be weird. Well, I'm on here and you're listening with me. We're going to look it up because I don't know what the show was. I don't know what that was either. I just remembered this. So something happened earlier and I still think it's funny. But Rusty Rivet. Apparently, it is still running. Rusty Rivet. That was the show. And it actually came out. Yeah, it was still pretty new. I remember when it came out. And yeah, it came out in 2016 when my son was 4. Well, he was 3 in 2016 for the most part. So I think it was like 2017 that he was doing that. But yeah, it was adorable and confusing at the time because I'm like, where did you hear this? But anyway, yeah, it was Rusty Rivets, I believe. So either that or Blaze and the Monster Machines because that was his jam. He loved a lot of these like STEM-oriented kids shows, which was great. And he understood them, which was also great. And I didn't know at the time that, you know, but like obviously these shows are stimulating for children, but I didn't realize it was stimulating a certain part of him that lacked stimulation elsewhere because he's still very STEM oriented. Like he has great math scores and such. In fact, when he was 1 or 2, he wasn't really talking a whole lot. We were sitting on the couch and I was watching something on my phone. Amber Sweets something on YouTube. She does cookie drawings and such with royal icing. She was doing a chespin cookie. And my son was silent the whole time. I didn't even know he was still watching it. But he was watching these videos with me. It was about 1.5 years or something at the time. And all of a sudden he says, "Yum!" And I busted out laughing because I'm like, that was so random. I didn't even realize he knew that was a cookie. He just said, "Yum!" Like, ecstatically. And it was so cute. You know, I hugged him. I was like, "Oh, buddy." And then he fell asleep. So apparently that was just enough stimulation for his 1-year-old brain. Cookie art. Anyway. So, yeah, he's always been, like, into things that, you know, are bright colors, too. But yeah, like, so, you know, around that time, because he never really said anything. He was a pretty quiet kid. Even as a baby, he didn't do the babbling thing. He just didn't care to. He was more interested in, like, figuring out how things worked. And, you know, so instead, I'm like, you know what? He'll talk when he's ready. I'm not going to keep forcing him. I'm just going to teach him his alphabet and teach him numbers. So, you know, we did counting and such. With my 1.5-year-old, almost 2-year-old, yes. I did alphabet and counting with him. And so when he finally started speaking, because I'd been working with him and all this, he already knew all his numbers, and he already knew his alphabet, and he was speaking in full sentences. Granted, yes, a 2-year-old is going to drop words here and there, like 2.5 roughly, but when he started to speak, he spoke. His complete thought got across clearly. He didn't really have, like, the TH or R issues. My middle child, she does still, and she is 5. But now the funny thing I remembered earlier, though, so I am assigned female at birth, non-binary, he, him, they, them pronouns. I mentioned, we were talking about, like, medical issues. This buddy of mine and me were talking about, like, medical type issues, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I have an angry uterus, because he was talking about his wife. I'm like, it's trying to kill me. Like, I had HELLP syndrome with my 3rd child. And he's like, wait, you have a uterus? And I'm like, yeah, what? He's like, I thought you were a gay male assigned at birth non-binary person. And I'm like, no. I mean, I appreciate it. Do not fucking get me wrong. I fucking appreciate it. I kind of find it funny because, like, I never saw it. Like, in my friend's stream earlier, I was talking about, we're talking about eyeliner, and I'm like, it took me years to get a wingtip down, which I fucking did. Like, and I know I've said this before, when I came out as non-binary to my mother, she was just like, okay. She's like, well, can I still call you dead name? And I'm like, please don't. I'm like, I say, my name is Isaac. That is my name. I go by Isaac IRL. I go by Isaac online. You can call me Zach. You can call me Isaac. That's who I am. That's my name. I give you my name. And, like, when I worked at that job that I hated, I had a name tag eventually that said Isaac. And there's this one guy, and this was COVID. You had to have a mask to be in our store. He came in with his 3 daughters, none of which were wearing masks. And he's like, Isaac, that's not your name. I'm like, actually it is. And him and his daughter started, like, talking shit, laughing at me, and I'm just like, whatever. And, like, one of my coworkers at one point, he's like, we were talking about it, because, like, he was there, and he saw it. He was just like, dude, fuck that guy. I'm like, no shit. He's a trans male who, like, if he doesn't cut his hair, he is very female presenting. I will say that. We've talked about it. He's like, yeah, I don't care, dude. He's like, I know. I mean, look at my fucking shoes. I'm like, I know. Like, I buy my shoes in the boys section, okay? They light up. I got light up Skechers. I'm not even fucking joking. And I was actually thinking about my shoes earlier, and I still have not taken this medication, obviously. I'm gonna do that real quick before I go on my shoe rant. So, swallowed it. Anyway, yeah, so, my shoes. I was thinking about it earlier. Like, I am almost 30, and I have Velcro light-up shoes. And I'm like, I need new shoes. Because one of my lights died. I don't have a light on my right foot. I only have a left foot light. And my last pair of light-up Skechers did the same thing. I had a dead light. I knew this would happen because it rained. We had couple, the last like 3 weeks, we've had 2 solid rains, and I accidentally went through a puddle and killed one of my shoes. Very disappointing. That said, I don't have it in the bio of the bio. I don't have it in my bio. I don't have it in my descriptions. I have it on my OnlyFans, which I have not been posting. I'm so sorry. I don't know why. I just keep forgetting about it. I don't post any bad content on there. It's just like food for thought sort of shit. I guess. But yeah, no, I'm really bad about that. I haven't posted in a couple weeks now. But yeah, anyway. But my Amazon wish list, I do have it on my Twitch bio thing. Not bio, but like my about page on Twitch. I have it there. I do kind of have it in the description of my videos. If you go to my Milkshake site, go to where you can support me. I have in my Amazon wish list, I have light up wheel shoes. Like, they got wheels on them and they light up. And I saw it on TikTok and I'm like, motherfucking yes. I still need them in kid size, technically, but I want them. Or size 6 in boys, if anyone wants to buy me light up shoes. Or size 6 in boys. Anyway. I would appreciate more light up shoes. I'm not really a shoe person. I've never been a shoe person, even when I identified as female. Never really was a shoe person. I wore the same pair of shoes until they were old. Like, I can poke my foot through the sole of my shoe from the bottom, and that's when I need new shoes. In fact, I had my Converse. I miss those. They were just full of duct tape. It was so bad. Because I had walked so much in Duluth, Georgia, and those were my only shoes for like 3 months, and all the walking I did. And it's like, now I have a car, I go vroom vroom. Bertha go vroom vroom. Bertha go nowhere right now because fucking road construction and the whole road is blocked off, so I can take her out. Plus, I need to fix her. I really need to fix my car, oh my god. I said this earlier too today. Somebody's like, constructive criticism is saying to somebody, sounds like you need a new mic, versus you would do better if you lost weight. Like, neither of those are technically constructive. You can suggest somebody's having audio issues, but to tell them outright they need a new microphone, like, unless you're gonna buy it for them, don't say that. Because it's fucking rude. Like, maybe they can't afford it. They probably know they need a new microphone, but they can't afford it, so that's not constructive criticism. You're straight up criticizing the quality of their fucking microphone, which they cannot fucking replace. So it's like, and I've said this before, when it comes to Bertha, don't fucking tell me I need a new car. You gonna buy me a new car? Didn't fucking think so. I can't afford it. So unless you're gonna buy me a car, don't tell me I need a new fucking car. Same with anything. Don't ever fucking tell somebody you need a new this. Like, don't tell someone they need to lose weight. Don't you think they fucking know that? I'm sure they do. If they are overweight, they know they are overweight. You do not need to tell them that. If somebody has bad teeth, they know they have bad teeth. You do not need to tell them that. None of these things can be fixed overnight. And unless you're gonna fucking pay for it, don't fucking tell them otherwise. Especially anything that has to do with their body. Like, they know what they look like. They know how they present. Do not tell them what they need to fix or not. Go fuck yourself. For real. Speaking of earlier conversations, I have this wonderful... I took a picture of it. It was... I told this person... part of me wants to mute you, but part of me feels English is not your first language. So it's like, I don't know if he was trying to come across a certain way, or she. I don't know. Their name had Steve in it, so I'm just going to use male pronouns. Anyway, so Steve came in and said, hey, if God doesn't exist, then how has anyone really been far, even has decided to use, even go, want to do, look more like? And it's like, what the actual fuck did you just try to say? Like, how high are you? Bruh. What? And I replied to him, and he's like, bruh, moment, haha, sorry. I don't know what you're trying to say. I'm so sorry. What? Anyway. Oh, it made my night, honestly, because I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Is this offensive? Is this like a stupidly high comment that they could not get out? Like, I get it. I struggle with English sometimes. And even earlier today in a Twitch chat, I said English eludes me. Because sometimes it does. And shout out to Daynoria TV. I have a podcast with her. Not me low-key shouting out my other podcast or anything, whatever. No, like, she... train of thought. Where'd you go? I don't know what I was saying. Anyway, I don't know what I was trying to say. So, yeah, check her out anyway, because she's pretty fucking cool. What? Well, shit. I was talking about Twitch chat and everything, and I know this is not relevant, but like to the point that I had lost. But she did try to like read that comment, and I busted out laughing when she did, because I had already read it, and like because of Twitch delay, and I think she was still pretty high up in the chat still, so she wasn't at that comment yet. So, a bunch of things that made, the delay longer. So when she finally got around to reading that fucking message, I busted out laughing. Because, yeah, that wasn't hers. That was in her stream. But... what the fuck was that? Dude! What? I don't know. Oh! I remembered I was going to say that because I was also speaking about my English issues. One day I said, I commented that, sometimes I fail at English. And she was like, and this is when, like, I was still pretty new to her stream. And she was like, something about, like, it's okay if English isn't your first language. I'm like, but it is. English is my first and last language. I don't speak any other language besides my native language, and I still can't speak that right. So, and because I struggle with words so much, I'm also gonna shout out Fred Sachet. And I hope I'm saying that right, and I really don't know if I am. I just assume it's Sachet. It looks like Sachet, like like rhymes with Shantae. I don't know. But he, oh my god. I forgot what I was going to say about him. I really forgot what I was going to say about him. No, it was nothing bad, I promise. But, yeah. I do appreciate him. We had a good talk earlier. And I realized after I hung up the call that the thing I was trying to get out was that basically I was talking about drag with him, and that sounds weird, but like, there's a lot of good drag performers. See, English is hard, okay? I'm just bad at it. Anyway, no, we were talking about like, just various issues. And yeah, I think I was trying to talk, like, basically just say drag. I couldn't think of it. I don't know why. I know I said something about, like, drag performers and kabuki actors, but I couldn't, for some reason, correlate that to the action of drag. If that makes any sense. Yes. Boom! I remember what we were talking about. Because, like, so we're talking about, like, various issues. And one of which was my manner of speech. And, like, online, I do present very male. Not so much non-binary, but very male. And a lot of people have, just by seeing my name online, assumed I'm male. And it's like, cool. I appreciate it. I always appreciate that shit. But, like, so what we were talking about, is, like, you're not generally gonna assume that I'm female based on my speech. I speak just straightforward, and it comes across very blunt. It's not meant to be rude. So, like, if I say okay, period, like OKAY, period, that's just me addressing that I have nothing else to add to that sentence. It's just okay. Affirmative response. That's all it is. And affirmative response. I realize I sound like I said affirmative, which is not a word. Anyway. Yes, it's just an affirmative response. That's all. Okay. Period. End of sentence. End of story. Okay. Anyway. So, I tend to, speak very bluntly. So, like, I realize, like, people aren't going to assume that I was born female, which, of course, I'm okay with. I'm so fucking used to people talking down to me, even just for having, like, a female profile picture. Like, my Twitter handle, SadBoyZach, has a drawing of me with the hair I had back then. I need a haircut now, unfortunately. It's on the back of my neck. I fucking hate it. Like, I honestly want to shave part of my head. Especially since it's summer. Oh my god. Anyway. I just don't want to come across, and, like, no hate to lesbians, but I don't want to present as one. I don't want to present as female. That's just me. It has nothing to do with, Okay, like, people just assume you're a lesbian, which means you're a female. It's like, don't assume that, please. Thank you. I don't know what this is. Anyway, okay, I'm done with that voice. It was annoying. Anyway, ow! on my fucking hand on my goddamn charger. I have, what is this thing? Upside down. USB-C power adapter, which I think is for computers, but I use it for my phone. Speaking of which, my phone is very much charged, 97%. Good the fucking up. You can go away and not bite my hand again. Anyway, but yeah. Because basically, somebody had said, like, something that came across as kind of rude. And, you know, obviously I should have phrased what I said better, but that's always too, is I say something and I'm like, I should have said it this way. And, like, I don't try to come across as rude myself. I don't try to sound overly blunt. It's just I have a direct manner of speech, especially in text messages or text format at all, like comments or chat or whatever. Generally, unless I'm feeling lazy or basically doing it for the meme, I just always use full sentences, complete punctuation, etc. Like, proper grammar, the works. Obviously, sometimes I butcher it in speech. A lot of times I do, because I'm just kind of like, whatever. But it irks me to no end if I don't use proper speech in text format. Especially because that is a hell of a lot more permanent than my words. Obviously, this is going on the internet, and the internet is forever, but my point still stands. Like, I don't think you can ever get a proper feel for somebody's personality over text. Which is why I don't understand how people are catfished. Like, I do, but I don't. I was kind of catfished once. I'm still with that person. Kinda, sorta, I'm not sure. Ever. Anyway, that's a long-ass story, and not one I particularly want to get into. Like, it's just something I've dealt with for many years now, and I'm over it. I don't want to feel like shit anymore. Made a whole fucking episode about that. I'm done feeling like shit. Like, I started standing up for myself, and guess what? Narcissists do not at all like when you stand up for yourself. And you know what? Seeing them get pissed is just kind of more empowering. Honestly, I sound like an asshole. And that's okay. If you piss off your narcissistic abuser because they don't like you standing up for yourself, you know what? Good for you. You know what? Stand up for yourself. Get the fuck away from it. Do as I say, not as I do. So that before, I don't know if yeah, I did. I think that's how I kind of ended season 1, episode 6. Do as I say, not as I do. I mean, quite frankly, this is just kind of how I've been seeing it. I try to look at things more positively. And in doing so, like I said, you know, my depression's been kind of doing okay. Like, I changed my stream schedule to conform to the construction I have no control over. I cannot control everything. Man, I am making this sound like it's the last episode, and it fucking is not. I promise you. I'm still gonna be here. I'm touching on a lot of my previous episodes, probably all of them right now. I think I have. I legitimately think I have, except for maybe 2. It sounds like a recap for the Milk and Lettuce podcast. It's not. So sorry. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so basically, I just kind of wanted to come on here and tell you guys about this game we're gonna play. I'm gonna play basically, and anyone listening is now a part of it. You're welcome. So, I'm gonna, take this medication, go back to drawing the pictures for this book. It's gonna have some big words in it, but I am gonna go into detail about them, and I'm gonna explain them. So, again, it's not aimed at kids, it's not aimed at adults, it's not aimed at teenagers, it's basically for everyone. Which honestly could be beneficial to parents of those with ADHD. I try to say everything as, not as a medical professional, but as someone who deals with it. I really sound like I'm recapping my fucking podcast, and I'm not. Oh, that's in the back of my head now, and I can't get it out. Fucking Christ. Anyway. Oh, also, don't say that to, insult Christianity or something. I don't give a shit about any religion. No offense to you if you're religious. I just don't care. I'm sorry that it's a form of my speech, but you know what? It is not offensive. I'm sorry if you feel that it is. But it's not offensive. Because define the Lord. I'm pretty sure it's do not use the Lord's name in vain. Who is the Lord? Is it Jesus? Is it God? Who is the Lord? I will do a whole other thing about religion, because religion and their acceptance of homosexuality is very contradicting. I will do a whole episode on that at some point. Again, oh come on, this is not over, and I'm so sorry. If you also made it, if you also had the perception that I was doing a recap of my series, what have you, I'm not. And I'm sure nobody else thinks that. I'm sure that's just me. A lot of times it's just me. But, yeah. It's just... I guess this book kind of has it, because a lot of the things that I've talked about, unfortunately, do kind of relate to that. So a lot of my personal issues, my personal struggles are also going to be in this book, because a lot of people have had these issues. I have not had all of them. But I will either update this if I can get it out anytime within the next year or two, or we'll just make a new episode. Hopefully both. Do not hold me to that, but pretty sure I'll make a new episode when I get this done. I am illustrating each page personally, so yeah, I'm gonna get back to it before that med kicks in, because I have very limited time at this point. That said, I don't know if it cut out at some point, because my phone apparently connected to the Wi-Fi during this recording, so that's great. Fuck my Wi-Fi. So, yeah. I don't know what else to tell you. I guess just do not hold your breath, but keep an eye out for my book. And I appreciate everyone for listening this far into this rant and my weird perception of my own words. I don't know anymore. I'm trying to end my podcast. I'm so sorry. Craig, can you leave?
guys, I hope you're having a fantastic morning, day, afternoon, evening, night, when you're listening to this. Have a great